Good morning, dear students. This is lesson 4, pollination. In this chapter, we'll understand parts of a flower, androgen and gynoism, bisexual and monosexual flowers, process of pollination, self and cross pollination. So let's see what is the different parts of a flower. Here you have to tell me name of these flowers. Name these flowers. So before starting the lesson, you have to tell the name of these flowers. So in your book, here that blank is given, blank is provided. In that blank, you have to tell me the name of flower. Which flower is that? This is sunflower. This is rose. This is lotus. And what is the name of this flower? This is marigold. Marigold. Okay. Now we'll come to the lesson. Do all plants bear flowers? Children, can you tell me that all plants bear flowers? That money plant you have seen curry leaves, that all have the flowers. Curry leaves have flower, white color flowers. But money plant also has flower? No. Some plants bear flowers, some do not. By this name, you learn that, like I have told, money plant. So these type of plants are not bearing flowers. So all the plants are not bearing flowers. Can you name some plants that do not bear flowers? As I have told, we group together all the plants that produce flowers. So all the plants which are producing flowers are known as flowering plants. Those plants have the flower are known as flowering plants. Flowers are reproductive parts of flowering plants. Flowers are what? Flowers are the reproductive parts. What is the reproductive parts? Reproductive parts are that part of flower which can reproduce, which can give birth to new plant or new flower. Understood? Which can be reproduced, which can be can give birth to the new flower or new plant. Most garden plants have bright and beautiful flowers. You had seen that most garden plants have bright and beautiful flowers. Flowers are found in different colors, shapes and sizes. That you know that flowers have different colors. Some are red, yellow, purple. So these are the different colors of the flower, and shapes and size are also different. Now parts of flower. Parts of flower. What are the different parts of flower? A flower is attached to them with a stalk. A flower, I will show you diagram also, but now read it. A flower is attached to the stem by a stalk. One stalk is there. This type of stalk is there, which is attached with the flower and called pedicel. A flower usually has 4 basic parts. How many basic parts a flower has? 4. That you have to remember. Sepals, petals, androgen and gynoism. Read again. Sepal, petals, androgen and gynoism. Sepal. What is sepal? Which part of the flower is sepal? The outermost part of a flower consists of green leaf like structure called sepal. The outermost part of flower which has the green leaf, that is called sepals. They protect the flower in its bud stage, and it protects when the flower is very small. In the bud stage only it protects the flower. Here you can see the diagram. As I have told that flower has 4 basic parts. Sepals. This is sepal. This part of flower is called sepal. Okay. So you have seen, children, when the flower is in bud stage. Bud stage means like it is not fully grown. Like that this stage of flower. So this stage of flower, when it is bud, it is covered with the green leaves. Okay, I will use that different color for that. Like this is the red flower and this red flower is covered with the green. Here I have no green color, so I am using yellow instead of green. This is covered with the green leaves. This outer side is green. Okay, so this part of flower, when that flower is grown, then it changes into leaves like that. This is in green color, and inside that this is the bird. This is the bird of the flower. Okay, so this part, this is that part that is called sepal. Okay, that is the part of basic parts of flower. This is sepal. Petals. This flower, this part of the flower is petal. This part, this all are petals. Okay, now andronism. What is andronism? Andronism is the male part of flower. This is the male part of the flower. In short, I am telling, then I will read for you. The male reproductive part of flower, that these two are the male reproductive part of flower. In flowers also there are two reproductive parts, that is male and female. So these male reproductive parts of the flower is called andronism, and the female, this is the female reproductive, all together are the female reproductive parts of flower, and that is called gynoism. Okay, it contains what? This is style, this is ovary, and here this all together is called carpel. So it contains one or more female reproductive units. This all together contains female. A carpel has three parts, that is ovary, style, and it has female. These all has the female reproductive units. Okay, now you understood that four basic parts of the flowers. What are that? This is sepal, then petals. Where are the petals, children? These all are the petals. These all parts of the flower are the petals. Okay, then I told andronism is the male reproductive part of flower, that is anther and not petals, anther and filament, and this is the female reproductive parts of flower, that is it comes in the carpel. A carpel has three parts such as ovary, style and stigma. It contains one or more female reproductive units. It has one or more than one female reproductive units. Now in the lesson, as I have showed you petals, so you should remember that which part of the flower is petal. The next part called petals are brightly colored in most flowers. You had seen that petals are of different color. Some flower has yellow petals, then pink color, red color. So we identify a flower by the color and shape of its petal. How will you come to know that which flower is that? Because of the shape of petal, no? You know that shape of the rose is different. Okay, shape of the rose, if rose flower is there, so its petals are different. Then if it is marigold, then the petals are different. So by the shape and the color of the petal, we come to know about the flower, that which flower is that. The color and scent of petal attracts butterfly. Color of the petals and the scent, the perfume which comes, the fragrance which comes from the flower attract butterflies, bees and other insects. Andronism. Andronism, the female reproductive part of flower is called andronism. It contains number of stamen. Each stamen has two parts. Each stamen has two parts, filament and anther, that I will show in this diagram. Here this part, children, these two, this is stamen and here is anther and filament. So I told the male reproductive part of flower is called andronism. It contains number of stamens. These all, see, which this is anther, this line goes to this is anther, this part of the flower, and this is filament, this this thin tube is filament. Okay, so it contains stamen. Each stamen has two parts, that is a thin hair like long stalk. This is hair like very thin like a hair, long stalk. This is filament, is called filament. And anther at the tip, this is the tip part, no, that is the anther. The anther produces a fine powder. When you touch this anther, you will get some powdery sticky thing in your hand. So it is the fine powder like substance called pollen grain, and that powder like substance is called what? Pollen grains. It is the grain, pollen grains. It is said to be pollen grains. They contain the male reproductive cells for reproduction. This pollen grain only has the male reproductive cell which can reproduce, which can give birth to new flower. Understood? That's why this stamen like anther and filament are called the male reproductive part of the flower. That is said to be androsome. Androsome. Okay. Now next you have to learn about gynonism, the female reproductive part. These are the like this carpel, you can remember, stigma, style, ovary, this all carpel. That is the this part of the, where is the stigma? Look, this tube is stigma. Style, this part at the bottom, and ovary, this part. Okay, here only that function of reproduction take place in this part. It is swollen like. So we'll read. The female reproductive part of a flower is called pistil or gynoecium. It contains one or more female reproductive units called carpels. A carpel has three parts: ovary, style, and stigma. First, the swollen base of carpel is called the ovary. It contains valves. The valves contain the female reproductive cells for the reproduction. Here you can see this part. This is said to be ovary, and it contains valves. It has the valves. The valves contain the female reproductive cells. Inside that, cells are there, small reproductive cells are there. The style is a long narrow, this is style, look, this is style, and it is a long narrow tube. The disc like part at the top, this is like a disc part, okay, at the top is called stigma. That is called stigma. The androsome, and these all parts are these two are androsome, and these parts are the gynoecium, help the plant to reproduce. They both together have the plant to give birth to new plant. You have to remember that reproduction means giving birth to the new plant. Now here we'll come to know about bisexual and unisexual flowers. What are the bisexual and unisexual flowers? Flowers such as rose and hibiscus have both the androsome and gynoecium. Now only you came to know about the androsome and gynoecium, that the flower has both male and female reproductive parts that are called androsome and gynoecium. Some flowers have these androsome and gynoecium both, but in some flowers it is not present. Both are not present. So the flowers which have both androsome and gynoecium, these are called bisexual flower. These are called bisexual flower. Bi means that presence of androsome and gynoecium in one flower. But some flowers like papaya have either androsome or gynoecium. In that only one thing is present. Either androsome is there or gynoecium. Both are not present in one flower. In them, such flowers are called monosexual or unisexual flower. So what are unisexual and monosexual flower? The flower in which either androsome or gynoecium is present. Only one is present, not the both are present. Okay. And the flowers which have both androsome and gynoecium, that are called bisexual flower. Pollination. What is pollination? The name of the lesson is pollination. So, do you know what is pollination? The main function of flower is to bring about reproduction. What is the main function of the flower? Not only to show attraction, not it is that. The main work of the flower, function means that work of the flower is to reproduce new plant, to give birth to new plant. It does this by producing fruits and seeds. And how it happens? By producing fruits and seeds of the plant. Reproduction is completed in 2 steps. There are 2 steps to complete the reproduction of the flower, that is pollination and fertilization. What are the 2 steps? Pollination and fertilization. For fruit and seed formation, the pollen grains produced in the anther of the stamen and need to be transferred to the stigma of the pistil. The process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of same or another flower is called pollination. Pollination can take place in 2 ways: self-pollination and cross-pollination. Listen children, for fruit and seed formation, the pollen grains produced in the anther of the stamen. Do you remember what are the anther? What are the stamen? You have studied that anther is at the disc-like thing, at the top of the flower, no? That is the anther at the top. It is at the tip, that is the anther. And wait, like this part, okay, and it has this tube like of thing, this part. So this is the anther, this part is the anther, okay, and this is filament, this is filament, okay. Now what is written, the process in the anther stamen, you had seen this is stamen and it has the powdery like substance. So the process transfer of pollen grains, here are the pollen grains, no, powder like substance, that is pollen grains, from the anther to the stigma. Where it goes? It goes to the stigma. Now where is stigma? In flower, you had seen this type of tube is there, this type of tube is there, which is swollen at the bottom. So what happened? These pollen grains, these pollen grains are transferred from the anther to the stigma. It goes from, this is anther, this is anther, no, I told this is anther, anther. From the anther to the stigma, that is in the middle of the flower, it goes in that. So it transfers to the stigma of the same or another flower. Sometimes these pollen grains are transferred in the same flower, or sometimes these pollen grains are transferred into the another flower also, different plant flower also. That process is called pollination. So it means that transferring of pollen grains in one flower or another flower is called pollination. So that pollination is also divided in self-pollination and cross-pollination. When these pollen grains are transferred in the same flower, that is called self-pollination, and these pollen grains are transferred in the another flower, another plant flower, that is called cross-pollination. Clear? So read it. When the pollen grains get transferred from the anthers of a flower to the stigma of a same flower or another flower on the same plant is called self-pollination. As I have told in my own words, that when these pollen grains are transferred, look this picture, this children, see, this is self-pollination. In this is anther at the top, at the tip, no, of this is filament. So at the tip of filament, what is that? Anther is there, okay. This at the tip, at the, I can't touch it, at the tip one, no, this tip, that is the anther. This anther is transferred of the same, this is the one plant, of this same plant by these bees or butterflies to the another flower, okay. So these are transferred. This is the male reproductive part, this is the male reproductive part, and it is transferred to the stigma. Stigma is the female reproductive part. Here is the disc type of thing, so that is transferred through this. and it goes in the ovary of that plant. Okay, so that transfer, this process of transferring is called self pollination, because it is transferring in the same plant flower. Whereas when these pollen grains are transferred to the another plant flower, that is called cross pollination. Okay, clear now? So that is called cross pollination. So what I have explained, when the pollen grains get transferred from the anther of one flower to the stigma of a flower of another plant, as I have showed, of the same type, it is called cross pollination. Now what are the agents of pollination? How these pollen grains are transferred from one plant to another? What are the agents? Who are the agents? As I have showed you that insects are there, bees are there, butterflies are there. These all are the agents. Who is transferring the pollen? Who are agents here? Those are transferring the pollen grains from the one flower to another. They are only the agents. Since plants cannot move from one place to another. Plants, they do not have legs, no, that they can move. So what happens? They need help to transfer their pollen grains. Wind, water, insects, birds and other animals help in transferring pollen grains. So what are the agents? These are only agents, children. Those are helping to transfer the pollen grain. What are the agents? Wind, because of the blow of wind. Then water, when water flows from one place to another. Insects, when insects are moving from one flower to another. Birds, when birds are eating the seeds of flower. And other animals help in transferring pollen grains by eating also from the cow dung. Also these cow dung or buffalo dung, also these seeds are transferred from one place to another. And what happen? They can transfer that pollen seeds from one place to another. They are therefore called the agents of pollination. These all called the agents of pollination. Who are the agents? Water, insects, birds and other animals. Pollination by wind. How that pollen grains are transferred from one place to another by wind. Pollination by wind take place mostly in grasses such as rice, wheat and maize. Their pollen grains are dry and very light, and so they can be easily blown by the wind. Some plants have a feathery stigma to catch the pollen grains. So how that pollen grains are transferred? Mostly that pollen seeds of wheat and maize are transferred by the wind. Their pollen grains, because their pollen grains are very light in weight, that are very dry, so easily when the wind blows, it is transferred from these are the grass. So as the wind blows, these are easily transferred from the one flower to another flower. Now pollination by water. Pollination by water occurs in aquatic plants. Aquatic plants are what? The plants which are in water, which lives in water, such as Hydrilla and Vallisneria. Pollination occurs when the male flower moving with the water current comes in contact with the female flower. So when water is moving, no, water flows. When it is moving, male flower moving with the water current comes in contact with the female. When male flower comes in contact of female flower, that pollination by flowers occur. Pollination by insects. Insects, birds and other animals help in cross pollination. Insects such as bees and butterflies visit flower to collect nectar. In the process, pollen grains get stuck to their body. Pollination by insects. Insects like birds and other animals help in cross pollination. How they help in cross pollination? Insects such as bees and butterflies visit flowers. When that birds are sitting on one plant flower, and next time they go to the another plant flower. So in this process, pollen grains from one plant to another plant are transferred. That pollen grains are stuck to their legs, to the legs of the insect, and when the insect sits on the another flower, that pollen grains is transferred to the another plant. So this way that male reproductive parts are transferred to the female reproductive parts is transferred to the stigma. Through the stigma it goes to the ovary, and there what happen, they that the cells are there and it fertilizes the plant. Now look here, pollination by insects, parts which they visit another flower, as I have told. After pollination the ovary swells up. What happen after pollination? When that pollen grains are transferred, like I have told that this insect is sitting in one flower, from that male reproductive parts that pollen grains is collected on their legs, then it sits on the another flower, and that pollen grains are transferred through the stigma to the ovary, as I have told. So what happened after the ovary swells up? What happened? Ovary swells up and changes into fruits, and the walls change into seeds. The sepal, petals and stamen of the flower gradually fall off. The fruit protects the seeds and help in their dispersal. So what happened, children? Here see the flower, like that it is transferred to the this part, what I have told, this is said to be the, this part is stigma. Through that pollen, when the insect, like that insect sits on that and pollen grains are stuck on that insect's leg, so that pollen grains are transferred through that. Then here is what, children, ovary is there, and that pollen grains are transferred to the ovary. Then what happened? It swells up, ovary swells up, it gets large into fruits, and walls change into seeds. Now these walls are changing into seeds. The sepals and petals, where the sepals are there, I told you that birds are covered with the sepals. So this type of leaves are there on the plants. So these sepals and petals are what? These are the petals. Okay, roughly I am drawing here. So these are the petals. So stamen of flower gradually fall off. All these fall off, they all fall off. Okay, and help in their dispersal from the seed, new plants grow, and this helps the fruit protect the seeds. Now what happened? These all fall off and it changes into fruits, and this fruit protect the seed. Seed is where? Seed is inside the fruit, and that fruit is protecting, saving, it saves the fruit and help in their dispersal from the seed. Like you had seen, no, that which any plant, any fruit you can see, like apple is there, so inside that seeds are there, no, so that seeds, black color seeds, so who is protecting that seeds? Only fruit is protecting, no, and this way they can, with that seed they can give birth to the new plant. So this all is there in the lesson. Children, read the lesson carefully 2 to 3 times and try to do the exercise given in the book. Thank you.